Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz or listening to Expoz. Guys, this is very interesting. I'm going to read some things here out of Enoch and just give you a quick rundown of something. I've read Enoch a number of times, but I don't know why that this time I'm reading and I run across something that I never really stopped to think about. When I read it, then you'll know where I'm going with it. First, in chapter 7 of Book of Enoch, verse 1, it happened after the sons of men have multiplied in those days, that daughters were born unto them, elegant and beautiful. And when the angels, the sons of heaven, beheld them, they became enamored of them, saying to each other, Come, let us select for ourselves wives from the progeny of men, and let us beget children. Well, that quick. That's all it took. Now, if you recall, the fallen angels, watcher angels, took all of whom, so they took many wives. Apparently, they had many to each of them. But let me go on down. Now, the dead of those, and these are the men that was on earth, and then their sons before the angels fell, all of them died because the giants, they ate them. And they stood at the gates of heaven crying from the outside, for their blood to be, God, look what they've done to us. So they sent Michael down to tell the angels just what was going to happen to them, and went ahead and told them all these things. Well, Michael and Gabriel, Raphael, SURYAL, and URIEL, they looked down upon heaven and saw the quantity of blood that was shed upon the earth and the iniquity that was done, and the earth deprived of her children and had cried even at the gates of heaven. Well, that's when God called out and sent them down. Well, I'm getting at one thing. They were to come down, and this is Michael and Gabriel, Raphael, and URIEL, SURYAL, and to deliver to the watcher angels their punishment. But the watcher angels begged Enoch, Go, please, go and speak for us to God and see if he'll lessen our judgment and our punishment. Well, Enoch couldn't physically do that, but God allowed him in a dream to visit him in heaven. Wow. You got to hear this. So chapter 14, this is the first book of Enoch, chapter 14 and verse 12. That starts the ride. Now, for some reason, there's no chapter 11. Don't know why. There's no chapter 11. But going on to chapter, again, 14, verse 12. And here we go. And drew nigh into a spacious habitation built also with stones of crystal, its walls too, as well as pavement, were formed with stones of crystal, and crystal likewise was the ground. Its roof had the appearance of agitated stars and flashes of lightning, and among them were cherubim of fire in a stormy sky. A flame burned around its walls, and a portal blazed with fire. When I entered this dwelling, it was hot as fire, and it was cold as ice. No trace of delight or of life was there. Terror overwhelmed me, and a fearful shaking seized me. This is what Enoch was feeling as he was going to meet God. Violently agitated and trembling, I fell on my face in a vision. I looked, and behold, there was another habitation inside the one he had gone to, more spacious than the former, every entrance to which was open before me, erected in the midst of a vibrating flame. so greatly it did excel in all points in glory and in magnificence and in magnitude, that it's impossible to describe to you either the splendor or to the extent of it. The floor was on fire. Above the lightning and agitated stars were the roof, or while a roof exhibited a blazing fire. And then he said, attentively I surveyed it, and was that it contained an exalted throne. The appearance was like a frost, that of a frost, and that while its circumference resembled the orb in a brilliant sun, there was the voice of the cherubim. Now the cherubim, these are the protectors that go everywhere with God. He delights in riding on the backs of cherubim at 3 a.m. Keep that in mind. Around this world, every night, every morning at 3 a.m., that's the best time to pray because God is passing by. He's most likely on the backs of us cherubim up in the clouds. So from beneath the mighty throne of rivers of flaming fire issued. To look upon it was impossible. One great in glory sat upon it, whose robe was brighter than the sun and whiter than snow. No angel was capable of penetrating to view the face of him. See, no angel was capable to see God's face, the glory and the effulgent, nor could any mortal behold him. A fire was flaming around him. A fire also of great extent continued to rise up before him, so that not one of those who surrounded him was capable of approaching him. And among the myriads of myriads, this is many, who were before him, to him holy consultation was needless, yet did not sanctify, who were near him, depart from him either by night or by day, nor were they removed from him. And Enoch said, I was so far advanced with a veil upon my face and trembling. Then the Lord with his own mouth called me, saying, approach here, Enoch, at my holy word. And as he raised me up, making me draw near to the entrance, my eyes were directed to the ground. Enoch could not lift his head to look up. No man has ever looked at God and lived. So then, this is chapter 15, verse 1. Then assessing me or addressing me, he spoke and said, hear, neither be afraid, O righteous Enoch, you scribe of righteousness. Approach hither and hear my voice. Go, say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent you to pray for them. You ought to pray for men, and not men for you. You hear what he said? The watchers asked Enoch to go pray for them. In response was, you ought to pray for men and not men for you. He's talking to the watchers. That's what he's saying to them. Wherefore have you forsaken the lofty and holy heavens, which endures forever, and have lain with women, and defied yourselves with the daughters of men, and have taken yourselves wives, have acted like the sons of the earth, and have begotten imperious offering. This is their offspring were giants. You being spiritual, holy, and possessing a life which is eternal, have polluted yourselves with women, have gotten in carnal blood, have lusted in the blood of men, and have done of those who are flesh and blood do. You acted like men, in other words. These, however, die and perish. Therefore have I given to them wives, that they might cohabit with them, and that sons might be born of them, and this might be transacted upon earth. But you, from the beginning, were made spiritual, possessing a life which is eternal and not subject to death forever. Therefore, I made not wives for you, because being spiritual, your dwelling is in heaven. Now the giants, which have been born of spirit and of flesh, shall be called upon earth evil spirits. That's demonic spirits, got all the dead giants, or evil spirits. And on earth shall be their habitation. Evil spirits shall proceed from their flesh, because they were created from above. And the holy watchers who was their beginning and primary foundation, evil spirits shall they be upon the earth, and the spirits of the wicked shall they be called. The habitation of the spirits of heaven shall be in heaven, but those upon earth shall be the habitation of terrestrial spirits who are born on the earth. The spirits of the giants shall be like clouds, which shall oppress, corrupt, fall, content, and bruise upon the earth. They shall cause lamentation. No food shall they eat, and they shall be thirsty. They shall be concealed. They shall not rise upon against the souls of men and of women, for they come forth during the days of slaughter and of destruction. I'm going to stop it there. This is God. This is Enoch goes to God and describes on his way there how it terrified him. But then when he got there, what God said to him points out the evil spirits. Guys, these evil spirits, these demonic spirits, guess what they are? They're called aliens. That's where I'm going with all of this. They are called aliens. That's who they are. They're nothing more. They're all from under the sun, just as Noah said. There's nothing new under the sun. And that was all from right here on planet Earth. And there's a lot more starting at 16. I mean, it carries on. You have got to read the book of Enoch. When you read the first book, you'll just lust for more of it, because it will really, well, as I read some, I mean, my reading is lousy, but I'm going to read it again and again and again. And I've read it way before this. Guys, when we have a soft disclosure and then later it gets more and more, it'll be these who will come and say, we were your fathers, your forefathers. Then you read Matthew 24:24. This is why even the very elect would be deceived. Jody Wolf Expoz.